Hello guys, Miss Jeffries here. So this is our last assignment, our last week of school. On Friday, I posted the assignment because I just wanted to give you a head start to choose your topic that you want to show mastery in from this year, as well as choosing if you want to do a comic strip or a mini quiz on a Google form. So I'm going to go over this for you, but I will say, you guys got to remember what I've been talking about all year, right? That the biggest thing for you as a student is to read directions. So I have some of you that took the Google Forms sample, and I have over 20 responses to that. So I'm going to go through this project so that everybody is on the same page, but please make sure when I send you Google Slides that you read through them. Okay, so first, this is our final project. It does count as a test grade. You can choose to make a comic strip where you made the avatar on pixton.com, or you can make a mini quiz, which I send you a template in this Google Slides. You can open it, and it's just in a Google form. So I'll talk about that in this video as well. So here are some details. If you make the comic strip, you're going to go to pixton.com. You're going to choose a pre-algebra topic, which is on the next couple slides. It can be anything from when we talked about lines all the way up to when we talked about volume. So your comic strip should be at least 3 slides. So you'll see you'll have an option to just do, maybe one example in the comic strip, but then you can fill out this Google slide to show me you've mastered everything that I asked you to. Okay, and lastly, just be creative and express knowledge on a chosen pre-algebra topic. Okay, so the mini quiz, it's a Google form, which I know you are only used to taking them, not creating them. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how to create one in this video. So again, you're going to choose a topic, which we'll go through on the next couple slides, and you're going to make a mini quiz. It needs to be at least 5 questions, and then of course you need to show me the answers in that Google form, and I'll show you how to enter those as well. So choose your topic and then make sure you make a copy of the Google form and create it. And lastly, be creative. You can add pictures from the internet, but you just need to show me that you have knowledge and have mastered this topic that you choose. Okay, so here are our topics. The distributive property, remember, was a number outside of parentheses, and you just had to multiply by the 2 numbers inside the parentheses. So that would be an easy one. 2-step equations, that would mean, you have like 25 equals 2x plus 2, right? You got to get rid of the positive 2 by subtracting on both sides, and then get rid of the coefficient of 2 by dividing by 2 on both sides. So that would be an easy one, and you can show 2 examples. Graphing y equals mx plus b, that should be pretty easy, and we just did some graphing with our trend lines. So showing me 2 examples and talking about what M means and what B means. All right, next one solution, no solution, many solutions. This is one that you will have to show, 2 of the 3 examples. One solution meant, you had something like y equals mx plus b. In that, that you could plug in something for x and find something for y. It has many solutions. But if it only has one solution, that means in the end you find out x equals 2 and x can only equal 2. When you found no solution, that was like, okay, you solved the problem and it said 8 equals 2. Well, that's not true, right? So it has no solution. Next would be scientific notation. This would be an easy one. It's all about taking a big number and making it into, 2 times 10 to the 3rd power. And you could find a lot of nice problems online and relate this back to that web quest that we did during the year. Translation, reflection, rotation, dilation. Now, you're going to talk to me about all 4, but you only have to show me 2 examples. So you remember this one, dilation makes it bigger or smaller, rotate 90 degrees, reflect over the x or y axis, and then translate up, down, left, or right. Okay, Pythagorean theorem. All right, everybody remembers that's from our triangles, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Interior and exterior angles, and parallel lines cut by a transversal. So remember, this one had all of the vocab. If you have your notebook at home, this one's definitely easy, but if not, you can still do this one. If you remember your alternate interior, alternate exterior, and then you can do your same side interior, corresponding angles, vertical angles. You really only have to show me a couple examples of those. Okay, angles of a triangle, the three inside add up to 180, and then you know that the exterior angle equals the two opposite angles inside of the triangle. And lastly, volume of a cylinder, cone, or sphere. We just went over this. So I already have a couple students who chose this one, but I highly recommend you go back and think about these, all right? Because I think the two-step and distributive would be pretty easy for some of you. And volume of a cylinder, cone, sphere, you'll see here when you get to the next slide, it goes into more detail on what I want you to do. So let's start with this last one. Volume, I wanted you to analyze the equation, right? So a cylinder is volume equals pi r squared times height. That's it. So tell me the equation and then tell me an example. And then you can choose cone or sphere from there and do the same thing. Okay, so read through these after you've chosen your topic, and it will basically tell you to tell me the steps or tell me how you solve it in this manner, and then make sure that you give me two examples. Okay, so read through this again, giving the rules or give the steps, describe the two types of angles, and you'll see what you have to do to show mastery. All right, and here's your rubric. So just telling me the rules or steps, you get 20 points. In the mini quiz, you can do that in the form of a question, and in the comic strip, you can do that in the form of, just a comic strip, one person explaining the rules or steps to the other, right? So then you have two examples, 20 points. Now that's 20 points each, so 40 points total, okay? So you got to give two examples. If you only give one, then that's an automatic B. Comic strip, Google form, layout complete. So you want to make sure that you just follow, you have three squares in your comic strip, or you have 5 questions in your Google form. And lastly, creativity, right? So think outside the box, think of some questions that show me that you have mastered that topic that you chose. Okay, so here is just the last form where if you do a mini quiz, you're going to have to send me the link, right? I don't have it, it's yours. So you'll see that you can share that Google form and you'll be able to copy and paste that link right here. Now, if you make a comic strip, I can easily get to that on pixton.com, okay? So you will just submit this form with your rules or steps laid out for number 1 if you can't fit it in your comic strip. If you can, then you're good. If you can say the rules or steps in your test or mini quiz, sorry, then yes, you don't have to fill this out, okay? So submit this form to me, whether it's blank or with a link, so that I know to go in and grade it. Oh, actually, let's go back to that slide here, because you see here I wrote creativity, collaboration. Please forget about the collaboration part. If we had more time, I would have you go comment on someone's comic strip or take someone else's mini quiz when we're all done with this. But I didn't want to add any more work onto you. So this should be just a nice, easy project. Make 5 questions or make 3 slides on your comic strip. Okay, now if you did not make an avatar yet, then you need to click on the link per your class. But if you already made this avatar, you just want to click up here. Okay, once you click on this, you will just press continue with Google and it will take you to the account that you created. All right, for a Google form, you're going to click on this document and you must remember to make a copy for yourself so that you can change that document. If you do not make a copy, you have changed my original, which some of you have already done. So please make sure that you make a copy, change the title to whatever title you want, and then put in your own directions depending on what topic you chose. Okay, now if for some reason you do not like these 2 things, I am flexible, I'm open. If you just want to make a Google Slides presentation or add on to this presentation that I've already made and explain yours, I will accept that. It needs to be 5 slides. Or if you have VR at home and you want to go into Spaces, which is a totally free program for VR, you can absolutely do that. I will give you bonus points. I will share that thing online. I think that would be so awesome. All right. Obviously, if you don't have VR, that's not an option. Okay. So that is it for this Google Slides. So now let's go to, oh, sorry guys, we don't want to check that out, but let's just go my silly comic strip that I made. It should be pretty easy, pretty simple. As you go in here, you can change the people that are on here. Now, this is just a little joke because I'm always late. So my husband and I are happily married, but it just shows here he ran off from me, right? So I just wanted to show a quick, silly example on how you can add people. You can change the scenery behind you. You can do thought bubbles, or you can do an action, speaking bubble here. Okay, so this is Pixton.com, and you can make a comic strip. Please make sure it is at least 3 slides long. Okay, now here is the mini quiz. Please make sure that you go here and you make a copy. So then when you make a copy, you can change it. All right, so let's say that this is Vanessa Myers, right? So this will be a mini quiz, and change the title or change your name. If you know that you're going to do distributive property, you can plug that in here. Okay. So now when you have made the copy, this is yours, so you can change this. So if you go to this little painter's palette up here, you can change your theme. Go to image uploaded and pick any of these photos here. So let's go with this one, insert, and now I can pick what color I want this little bar to be, and then I can also pick a different color for the background, okay? So now this is yours. Let's change the title. So again, we're doing distributive property for this example. All right, and so if your name's not in the title, I would put it here. Okay, so now you want to put directions down here. So, just pick the best answer for each question, depending on what you choose to do. But here I just remind you that you can click on this painter's palette up here and change the background. You can change the text to whatever you want here. If you want it, just basic text, whatever you'd like. Okay, so now let's see, you can delete any question here by clicking on this box. I would leave this first page so that people can put their first name. If you like the layout of something, all you got to do is press copy, and then this could say last name, but however I put it for you, I would just leave it like that. So this first section is pretty good, class period and name. Now down here, again, yours is on distributed property for this sample. You can change your directions here. So this is an example of a fill in the blank question, right? If you wanted them to tell you the definition of distributive, right? You could put that right here. Or what's the first step for distributive? You would multiply the number outside of the parentheses times the number inside. Okay, so let's say that was our question. So then you would go here and add in the answer. So if mine was multiply outside number by all numbers inside parentheses, okay? If yours was just a simple problem that you maybe inserted a picture, or for volume, you told them what the height and radius was, find the volume of the cylinder, and if your answer was just 5, you would put it here. Add the correct answer, 5, okay? So you would say done to exit out of that. All of these should be put on required. They already are in my example. All right, here's an example of multiple choice. Type in here to type in your question, and then type in all of your answer choices. Here you can add more if you'd like. Go to answer key, and then you click on the correct answer. So let's say it's this one. All right, so that will make me know that you know what the correct answer was as well. Okay, this is one where a student changed mine, so I just stayed with it. They entered in a picture How you do that is you click this little symbol right here that looks like the mountain landscape. So click on that and you can go to Google image search. You can do this by saving it on your computer, getting it from your Google Drive. Either way, you can add in a picture and then you can click on that picture and resize it to however big or small you want that to be. Again, answer key, make sure that you choose the correct answer, and then you always want to make it worth at least 1 point, okay? This one is check boxes here, so person would check off the answer. This one is good for steps. You can have them click the buttons to show the different steps and which order that they go. And then lastly, this one is a nice scale. If you wanted them to tell you, you know, how well do you know this information, a scale of 1 to 5. Now, if you do this on your mini quiz, please do not count this as one of your 5 questions to show me mastery of your subject, okay? So I just wanted to show you all of those different options. So now how you send this to me is you can click send and you can get the link and you can shorten it if you want, it doesn't matter, any link will work. Copy that link, go back to the Google Slides that I gave you, paste that in, submit it to me, and you are done. All right, guys, so let's go back to those Google Slides here, just so that you know how to turn this in. Okay, so again, right here is where you would paste that so that you can send this to me. Now, let's say I wasn't able to, let's say we're doing volume, right? And I was supposed to give the equation and steps, but I didn't include that in my mini quiz, or I didn't have enough slides to do it in the comic strip. So you could go in here and you can type all the information that you need. In order to do pi, you hit Alt and 227, just so you know that. R squared, I like to write like this, and then times height, okay? So you can type the different equations here. And let's say I could only, only show one in my mini quiz or comic strip, and I couldn't show the other. Well, then you can say that here. Let's say I couldn't include my steps. I would include it here, right? So step 1 with this one is to find the radius and square the radius, okay? Step 2 is multiply by height and pi. Okay, and remember pi is pi, not P-I-E, like the pie that you eat. All right, and then lastly, you would round and label. Okay, so again, you can include that information here if for some reason you can't include it in the final mini quiz or comic strip. Okay, that's about it for me here. If you have any questions, please contact me. I will be away Tuesday today, cleaning out my classroom, but please just text me or send a message and I will be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. All right, guys, good luck on this. Again, this is a test grade, and take it seriously and let's get a great grade on it to end the year. Okay, check back tomorrow and Thursday for some fun posts that I will be posting and some shout outs to our students. All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks.